There's a moment in Berserk when you realize the story isn't interested in comforting you at all. Not inspiring you, not motivating you, not even shocking you for the sake of shock. Berserk wants to ask a question most stories are too scared to touch. What happens when a dream is worth more than people? Kentaro Miura didn't write a power fantasy. He wrote a story about ambition, trauma, and the violence of believing you're special. And nowhere is that clearer than in the Golden Age arc. An arc that pretends to be a heroic epic before ripping your heart out and showing you the machinery underneath. This isn't the story of Guts. This is the story of how Griffith was always going to become a monster, and how Guts survives the fallout.
挽回
The Golden Age arc is a lie, and I mean that lovingly. It is Miura tricking you into thinking Berserk is about camaraderie, growth, and brotherhood. You watch Guts, a child born from a corpse and raised in violence, finally find something resembling a home in the Band of the Hawk. For once, Guts isn't alone. For once, he isn't fighting just to survive. And at the center of this false warmth is Griffith. And Griffith is one of the most dangerous characters in fiction, because he doesn't look dangerous. He's beautiful, soft-spoken, inspiring, and when he talks about his dreams, having his own kingdom, the story frames it like it's something noble. And that's the problem. Griffith doesn't just have a dream. He needs it. Everyone around him exists in relation to that dream. Casca giving up her identity to protect it. The Hawks lead and die for it. And Guts is valuable only because he helps achieve it. The turning point isn't a battle, it's a conversation. When Griffith explains that a true friend must have his own dreams, Guts realizes something horrifying. He was never Griffith's equal. And so, Guts leaves. And this is where Berserk becomes inevitable. In the moment Guts walks away, Griffith spirals. Because without Guts, Griffith isn't in control. His reckless affair with Charlotte isn't romantic. It's desperation. It's him trying to prove he still matters, still has power, still has a future, and it destroys everything. Griffith is captured, tortured, broken. And here's the key detail people miss. Griffith doesn't break because of the pain. He breaks because his dream becomes impossible. His body is ruined. His sword hand is useless. His voice is damaged. The one thing he lived for, the kingdom, is now unreachable. And when the God Hand appears, they don't tempt him. They tell him the simple truth. The eclipse is not a twist. It's a conclusion. The God Hand offers Griffith a choice. Sacrifice the Band of the Hawk, the people who love him, and his dream can live. And here's the uncomfortable reality. Griffith does not hesitate, because in his mind, they already belong to his dream anyway. The eclipse is horrifying, not because of the demons, but because of the clarity. Griffith accepts that their lives were stepping stones, always were. Casca's violation. The Hawks being slaughtered. Guts screaming, tearing his own arm apart, trying to reach them. This isn't violence for spectacle, it's a violence with intent. And when Griffith is reborn as Femto, he hasn't changed. He's been freed from guilt. Femto isn't Griffith corrupted. Femto is Griffith unfiltered. Guts survives, and survival is the cruelest part. The brand of sacrifice ensures that trauma never stops chasing him. Every night, monsters come, sleep is impossible, peace is only temporary. This is where most revenge stories would turn empowering. Berserk does the exact opposite. Guts' rage is ugly, and it hurts him. It pushes people away. The Black Swordsman isn't a cool phrase. It's a coping mechanism. A man trying to drown grief in violence. And Casca? Casca's trauma isn't resolved. It's lived with. She doesn't exist to motivate Guts. She exists to show the cost of survival. Miura refuses to romanticize recovery. Healing is slow, painful, and incomplete. And that, honestly, is what makes Berserk hit harder than almost anything else. Characters like Puck, Farnes, Serpico, and Sheer aren't tonal shifts. They're lifelines. Puck reminds Guts he can still feel. Farnes shows what happens when belief collapses. Sheer literally anchors Guts' soul so he doesn't become a monster himself. This is Berserk's real arc. Not killing Griffith, not defeating gods, but answering one simple question. How do you keep living after the worst thing imaginable already happened? Berserk endures it because it doesn't flinch. It doesn't excuse ambition. It doesn't sanitize trauma. And it doesn't pretend suffering makes you stronger. The Golden Age shows us what was possible. The Eclipse shows us the cost. And everything after is about carrying that weight. Guts may never win. Griffith may never fall. But Berserk argues that continuing to struggle, even when meaning feels gone, is its own defiance. And in a world ruled by casualty, that might be the most human act of all. Berserk isn't about hope. It's about refusing to disappear. And sometimes, that's enough. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I have a Discord. We have a book club. It's free to join. Link in the description. I also stream on YouTube if you ever want to check that out. I usually play some stupid games, and I plan to upload more. Again, I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one. Adios.